333. R.I.P.P. Don P. Ph.D. Yeah. I said, R.I.P. TV. Tell a homie. Mob Deep Mondays, that's everyday, thoughty. It's all for the community. That's what P showed me. We lost without the unity. Where the fuck is the OGs? R.I.P.P. God bless the real. Only for the righteous. The rest will go to hell. Flipping through the book of Revelation. Figure it out. Transliterate the translation. Do it yourself. It's the last days. Life is a test and we in a cage. Concrete jungle. Everyday struggle. Fuck the pain. I'm on some HNIC shit. A Gellion 3 shit. If you don't know what I mean, you was never G. Real shit. R.I.P. Yo, P, play that beat back, 333. Burn some weed, re-repeat that. Shake me up a tuka pack, break me off a 20 piece. I'm gone, never looking back. Y'all can't talk to me. R.I.P. TV, tell a homie. Mob Deep Mondays, that's everyday, thoughty. It's all for the community. That's what P showed me. We lost without the unity. Where the fuck is the OGs? Like the weed, play some IMD for me. It's hell on earth for real, but y'all don't wanna see paper trail politics. All the shit was prophecy, strictly for the family. Peace to the prodigy. R.I.P.P. I sleep when it's time for me. Dope dreams bring the skizzy, pour the Hennessy. Searching for some inner peace, couple hundred G's. Deadly weapons and some weed just for you and me. R.I.P.P. I sleep when it's time for me. Dope dreams bring the skizzy, pour the Hennessy. Searching for some inner peace, couple hundred G's. Deadly weapons and some weed just for you and me.
What up? It is Gray Batter Championship Weekend Breakdown with me, you, and my co-host, Bruce Leroy. Only the old heads will even get that one, Kerry.
Who's the master?
Show enough. Show enough was the... I don't care what anybody says about the Road Warriors and the old WWF days. Show enough was the illest pair of shoulder pads as everyday wear in history.
Absolutely.
No, he didn't even need spikes. He was so dope.
Nah.
Yo, so what up, though, son?
Chillin', man.
Things went completely as predicted in our preseason breakdown. It wasn't... And as we all said, if Patrick Mahomes plays, Chiefs are going to win. Like, come on.
Chiefs are going to win. That's it.
He had like 9 yards rushing. He didn't even need to run. He's going to have to run against Tampa Bay's front four, though, without Eric Fisher there. He's definitely going to have to move.
Yep.
I definitely look at like Williams, the running back, out of the backfield a lot. And because, JPP and Shaq Barrett are literally just going to be converging at all times on him.
Plus you have, Edwards-Helaire came back. I don't know what's up with Le'Veon Bell, though. But there's 2 weeks, so Le'Veon may be back.
Yeah, no, and that's big. That's big for them.
That would be huge.
That would be a huge tool, especially because it's just pressure.
Absolutely.
But yeah, things went exactly as predicted. I don't know what in the world anybody was thinking picking Green Bay. This is Tom Brady, people. He goes to Super Bowls. I don't care what uniform's on this man. This guy, he just goes.
He does.
Yeah. That was an interesting game. I'd rather break that one down first because the way that one played out with 3 straight picks on possessions by the Bucs.
That was crazy.
How in the world did Green Bay, with the number 1 offense in the NFL, they got 6 points out of those 3 turnovers?
You know what? Todd Bowles had that defensive secondary ready.
Yeah, they were.
And Devin White was all over the damn field.
So, Kerry, a hidden fact for those who aren't football heads is the 2 starting safeties for Tampa Bay didn't even play. And their secondary still performed that well.
That was crazy.
Yeah. You saw, I know, especially that goal line play with Devontae Adams where they switched off, perfectly executed.
Yep.
And that's when you knew, they came prepared today. They are ready for this.
Yep.
Again, but
interception by Bunting.
Yeah. They definitely played above their ability, and this is one thing that I really wanted to talk about. I could not wait to actually have a conversation about this fact. And this is why, regardless of skill set and talent level, that Tom Brady is and will always be the GOAT, because they're the intangibles that are necessary. This is 4 straight losses in the NFC Championship game for Aaron Rodgers and these Green Bay Packers. That's historically bad. That's Jim Kelly failing 4 times in the Super Bowl bad. He does have 1 Super Bowl in his...
Yeah.
But this is like when the Eagles made it for all those years before they actually made it to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Right. And history doesn't look kindly upon that team that made it that far. We do, because it's just like, damn, dude, it was
crazy.
Like 4 years in a row they went to the NFC Championship game. Like, that's
that was
incredible.
crazy. Yeah, absolutely.
But this is the difference between a Tom Brady-led team and, per se, Aaron Rodgers. Davante Adams had multiple drops, including a back shoulder throw in the end zone that he makes in his sleep.
Yeah.
Multiple drops. And then Lazard dropped that 2-point conversion. Bang. Aaron Jones, multiple fumbles and a drop.
And hurt.
Big Bob Tunyon dropped early. I know that the tension was up and whatnot.
Right.
But, and even, Chris Godwin, he's had some yips this year.
He has. But he also had surgery, too.
Yes, but you see when it was 3rd and like 13 and Chris Godwin had a one-on-one up the center, Tom Brady said, fuck this shit. I don't care if you just dropped the last one.
Yep.
The difference, Kerry, is Tom Brady's teams, the players, no matter who it is, they always make the plays.
Yeah.
And that's the difference in I have to make this for Tom. That's that one factor. Dude, they always make the play. Scotty Miller.
Green Bay is, I guess you can almost say that they have a habit of this.
Yeah.
Because remember, they gave up the Hail Mary to Eli and them?
Yeah.
Right just before the half. That was a killer for them.
Nice. What up, son?
What up?
Yeah, we just talking about, all right, so I'm glad you popped in. Roger Harper, if you're watching, I sent you the invite to your email, homie. Yo, so I was waiting to talk to you guys about this like hardcore. So Aaron Rodgers' team had a lot of non-plays made in big moments when they should have been made, i.e. Davante Adams dropping that back shoulder fade in the end zone. Come on, dude. Dunk. Including the offensive coordinator and Aaron Rodgers himself on that 1st, 2nd, and 3rd from the 2, forcing it to Davante all 3 times, and they walk away with 3 points.
Yep.
So even Aaron Rodgers was off a little bit in the moment, right? Yo, nice. Tom Brady's the guys who play with Tom Brady, they make those plays. It doesn't matter who it is. David Patton, who's the one that won the Super Bowl MVP? Roger Harper, what up, homie?
Wasn't it Deion Branch?
Yeah, Deion Branch, Edelman. Only Welker was the only one who didn't make that play. Remember?
I know you're not. I know you're not gonna forget Jabbar Gaffney.
Jabbar Gaffney, dude. Like that's the difference. Nice. What up, Roger? Is that when you're on Tom Brady's team, they make those plays no matter what. Just
yes.
Like Chris Godwin making that bumbling catch on that long one, and then like Kerry said, Scotty Miller getting open with fucking 2 seconds left for a back-breaking touchdown.
Yes.
Yeah. And, Aaron Rodgers' teams consistently fall short because his players don't make those plays for him, and that's the difference.
I called the Super Bowl.
Everybody called the Super Bowl. Get out of here.
No. Me and you called it.
Well, I mean,
you and Joe called Nice and Joe. You guys did a good job calling this show. Me and my man, we was going for the other 2 teams. So
yeah.
I mean, realistically, I wanted the Bills to win that, but also you saw the youth on the Bills roster in a game of that magnitude. You saw the inexperience in the youth happen across the game. And so that was like, it's just like KC, the last Super Bowl that the Patriots won, when the Patriots came back and beat them in overtime to get to the Super Bowl. KC was young. That was they needed that experience, and now look at them. Buffalo.
Yeah, but it was that one defensive penalty.
Yes, that is true. But that's part of the
fucking. They had that game won.
Yes, they did. But see what happens when you give the GOAT another opportunity.
Yeah. Which is why you go for it on 4th down.
Let's talk about that now. So,
that was crazy.
Yo, Roger Harper, you're on the sidelines, and Matt LaFleur says we're down. What was it? We're down 8 with 2:08 left. and Aaron Rodgers has the ball at the 8-yard line. Let's kick a field goal and hope our defense can stop the greatest quarterback who's ever lived in clutch time.
I thought that was a mistake.
Yeah.
I thought that they should have went for the first down. And like you said, you can't leave the ball in Brady's hand with no time on the clock because you see what he does.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big mistake on Green Bay's.
Well, I look at it as a mistake on two levels, everybody. So the first level is, I know the analytics says if this is week 4 of the regular season, you kick the field goal, get a stop, and then try to get the ball back. But this is the fucking playoffs. You don't do that. You have the MVP who's played his best year right there. I'm winning and losing with him, not on my defense stopping Tom Brady.
Right.
Exactly.
Go for it.
So then the other aspect is, and I think he got shook, Kerry. I think the Brady factor came into him. So if they score, dude, if they score on that play, 4th and goal from the 8, and they score, and then they get the 2-point and they tie it up, you still got to kick it to that guy who now has the run a 2-minute offense to win this game, and you know he's going to fucking do it. So I think LaFleur got shook and tried to – I think he outthought himself.
LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers was shook.
Yeah,
like I said before.
Yeah,
he has his heart. He got Aaron Rodgers' heart, man, and that's why I would never ever bet against Brady against Rodgers against Brady.
Well,
He never does good.
Another turning point for the Packers was my man Jones. Those 2 fumbles, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's
the first one, but the second one costed them.
It did. It cost them a lot, but I mean that goes to show you. Me and Kerry were talking about it before you guys chimed in. How well prepared the Bucs secondary and second level players were to play this game.
Yeah, Todd Bowles, man.
They definitely smoked a Todd Bowles before that game.
You know how Todd Bowles do it when it comes to that defense, man.
Yeah, no, that was incredible. They played well, and looking forward, heading into we'll look forward. But if you look at their roster, fully healthy outside of AB, and they don't really need him because
they said AB gonna be healthy too.
He's going to be healthy. We got 2 weeks, but Scotty Miller's faster than everybody on their team anyway, so they don't really need AB.
Yeah. But
So-
AB will be there.
He will be there, so you're looking at a fully healthy Bucs team and a Chiefs team who is suffering some injuries right now, especially the Eric Fisher thing. We'll get into that. But, that decision on 4th down. Now, what I don't understand is how Aaron Rodgers doesn't, as he said, once the field goal team was moving on to the field, there's too many moving parts and not enough time to send them back off, blah, 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 blah. Call a motherfucking timeout. I don't care. Shut the fuck up, Matt LaFleur. I'm Aaron Rodgers. I'm actually older than you. You're 3 years younger than me, son. We're winning and losing on my arm. I don't care.
Yep. Yeah.
I also didn't. I mean, I know he said he thought it was 4-down territory, so he had another play option. But that 3rd down, it looked like he could have scored if he ran. I don't know if he was a little gimpy or what.
Yeah.
Or he would have got really close, so it would have been 4th and 3.
Exactly. Now you had enough time too, and look, you don't even have to waste any timeouts because it's 2:08 left to play. You make that run, you just wait till the 2-minute warning. You have all the time in the world to talk about the 4th down play from the 2.
Yeah.
He did have a window, and he said today in his interview, I'll give him props because he didn't skip today's Pat McAfee show. He went in and talked about everything about the game. So I'll give him props for even showing up in a loss. But he said he thought, there was a window, but there was somebody closing really fast. You're Aaron fucking Rodgers, dude. You can make it. At least, like you said, get down to the 3 or the 2 or something. You might not score.
And then you really open up your options because 4th and 8, 4th and goal from the 8, that's tougher than 4th and goal from the 3.
The Tom Brady factor, man.
Well, nice. You also have to look at the shookness of it. I look at Matt LaFleur on 3rd down saying, Aaron, you pick a play. And Aaron being like, yeah, of course I'm going to. But he picked a terrible play. But Matt LaFleur unwilling to call a play and being like, here, you do it. He's coaching scared. And then he cried after the loss like a little kid.
Yeah, I mean, going up against Tom Brady, man, for some reason, Aaron Rodgers does not do well against Tom Brady. You can look it up. Look at the stats up. It's terrible.
No, I think he wants to try. I think he's pressing too hard to prove that he is the GOAT over Tom, and it never works out that way.
It gets in his head. It gets in his head every time.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that was an excellent game. There's a bunch of turnovers, but it's a championship game. There's a lot on the line. People are nervous. There's going to be turnovers. Like, it happens.
I mean, I gotta tip my hat to that Tampa Bay secondary. I mean, they showed up without their two starting safeties. That was
Without Winfield Jr., man, that was dope.
Well, what I look at is they took the right game plan. Devontae Adams only had 60 yards or something like that. Like, they frustrated him.
Lazard played a hell of a game.
Yeah, Lazard and MVS had 179 yards combined. So you did let them eat. The game plan is this guy's not going to beat us, and it worked. Now, they did have opportunities because he did have that drop in the end zone. That's 4 points off the board. And then those 3 straight plays from the 2 going straight to him every time. One was low, the other was high, and the other was, in traffic. Like, he really forced that third one.
Yeah.
So then you're looking at Aaron Rodgers again being like, oh shit, I'd have to throw it to the best guy. It doesn't even matter if somebody's open.
Which even, we'll get to it. Think about that play call where you couldn't get your best player open. And then you think about Kansas City, how you had Travis Kelce wide open on the goal line. Yeah. Wide open.
Brilliant play design. Brilliant.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you got to come up with something better.
Well, the good thing that we know is Patrick Mahomes is not going to get shook playing Tom Brady. They've already played 4 times, and he does not get shook at all.
No, he's not shook. He's very confident.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's get into the second game because I know we'd rather talk about the Super Bowl than these other 2 games that just happened because they were pretty fucking predictable. The second game, like I said, that's youth. It was so much youth involved. Like, they just weren't ready for that stage yet.
Yeah. That's why I never went with them. I never was going to pick the Bills. They're not ready. This light is too bright. You're going to have a lot of mistakes, and they had a lot of mistakes on the field.
I will say,
and they couldn't run. Couldn't run the rock.
They could not. Well, because they haven't run the ball all year. They never established the run once. And at championship level games, that's pretty easy to defend, right, Roger? Well, they never run it. This is going to be easy.
Yeah. The only couple of times they did run it was when Allen ran it, and that was their most successful run plays.
Yeah, Allen is like they lead.
He had like 70 yards rushing.
Well, T.J. Yeldon was the only running back who even did anything, so that just shows you what really happened in there.
He made a hell of a catch.
Caught a couple passes, yeah.
He made a hell of a catch.
Yeah,
I didn't expect him to catch that.
Me neither. But I had him on my fantasy team, so I do appreciate that because I did triple my buddy up this week. Shout out to T.J. Yeldon.
Oh shit.
Yo, I'm starting to figure this shit out, Kerry. Like, I'm really starting to figure it out.
Also, you had Stephon Diggs who didn't have a reception until deep in the second half. I mean, you can't have that.
See, once again, that's a prepared team. That team was secondary who was not heralded by any means whatsoever was prepared. Now they do have Honey Badger, and that really fucking helps.
He was all over the field.
Facts had them boys ready.
Yo, so Roger Harper, what do you feel about Honey as a former safety? You have to love this guy.
I have to go off to him, man. He's been a player for a long time. Even when he was at LSU, coming out of college, had some adversity. He came out on top, and he's been a player since day one, and he really controls the secondary, and he does a hell of a job, man. He had the interception was key. I mean, he was all over the place. Did you see the one where the lineman put him on his back, and he told him, the ball's dead right here, the tackle right here. I mean, that was nice.
Yeah, he has the maturity to go along with his instincts. And his ability, because anytime that you play defense and you're a Heisman finalist as a sophomore, you're something fucking special. Like, you are special. So he
ends up becoming a captain every team he goes to. He's always a captain, so he's a leader on the field for sure.
Yes, he is. Now, there was one play that stuck out to me the most, and Carrie texted me because we were both like, well, that was fucking impressive as fuck. What's his name? Pryor or whatever?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know he's.
That chase, that he didn't chase him down in a direct line because Tyreek Hill was running all over the place. But when Tyreek Hill was cutting across the field at full speed, he reached almost 21 miles an hour at that cut. This dude came out of nowhere. He didn't make the tackle, but he made him stutter step enough so somebody was able to force him out. Yeah, that's why that guy was a first-team All-Pro, and we had no idea who he was.
Yeah.
That guy, that was impressive. He could move.
No, he balled.
Yeah, and he played really well.
Anytime you can move with the cheetah, you can move.
So fuck all these games. Let's talk about the only one that matters, what's coming up ahead, because that's what's on everybody's mind. Literally, that was so predictable. If you watch the three of us when we did our kickoff special, our preseason special, we literally said it's going to be the Bucs and the Chiefs. Football-wise, if the Bucs get it together and the Chiefs roster, it just makes sense. And then B, the NFL needs to sell Super Bowl advertising, Did you see?
They wanted this game all the way.
They had to have Tom Brady in there. He moves the needle globally. Globally, he moves the needle.
Yeah. It's a great
this
story.
Is the first at-home Super Bowl.
It's a great story.
It's a great story. Also, you're passing the torch of the old guard onto the new guard. We knew this was going to happen. Like, it was so predictable. It's so.
Come on, though. It would have been fun too. The discount double check Super Bowl would have been fun too.
Yeah, of course it would. But even just football wise, outside of the narrative that the NFL loves, football wise, it makes sense.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers' story is not as big as Tom Brady's story.
Nah, Aaron Rodgers is more of a regional, megastar, and then football heads. Yeah. But Tom Brady is a global face.
Yeah, Tom Brady's the GOAT to everyone when it comes to football.
Ugg boots, you know what I'm saying? You got them Uggs,
10 Super Bowls out of 55. That's very impressive. That's incredible.
Yeah, so my lawyer is a huge Giants fan, Kerry, so all we do is talk shit about football back and forth all the time. So he just texted me a picture of Eli waving, walking off the Super Bowl field instead of anything about Brady making it again.
I love it.
And then he was just like, well, I will give him the props. 47% of the time this guy goes to the Super Bowl. I said, actually, you're incorrect. It's 50. Because that 1 year that they count against him, he only played 2 or 3 games. Marcus motherfucking Pollard blew his knee out.
Yeah.
So they still count that because he did start the season. But realistically, Roger Harper, this is retarded. You went to the NFL. 50% of the time this guy is playing football, he's going to the Super Bowl.
That's impressive. There's no quarterback in the history of the NFL who has done what he has done.
There's this kid on the other sideline this week or in 2 weeks who's kind of setting the pace already. Like, he's on the same Tom Brady pace of 2 Super Bowl appearances in the first 3 years. So he's up there.
Yeah, he's getting up there.
And he could have been. He could be repeating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which he I think he will. You keep that team together, he's gonna win a few.
Well, see, that's the issue moving forward with them, Nice, especially with the salary cap being lowered down to, I think it's either 174 or 175 million. There's a lot of not only veterans that are going to get cut because of salary cap reasons, who will probably re-sign under new structured deals. They're not going to end up moving, but a lot it will end up moving. But who it's really going to affect is the mid-tier level players.
Yep.
Because you need to shift those who are making just a couple $1 million really down to player minimums and veteran minimums and 1 year prove it deals until the salary cap readjusts itself and goes back up if it does. So there's going to be a lot of cap casualties this season coming up. So are the Chiefs, who are paying everybody on their roster $1 billion, are they going to be able to keep these guys together?
That's the key question.
I could see players like Sammy Watkins probably being out. You know what I mean?
I mean, if you're the Chiefs, realistically,
veterans like that who, when they're on the field, they're great, but he's missed a lot of games.
And they have Pringle and the other Williams guy to fill in. So and they made it to the Super Bowl basically without him. So he's definitely gone.
Younger, cheaper talent. So I could see him being gone.
I mean, but then
they got
Hartman, but you guys know the first people that get cut from a dynamic offense who can't afford everybody is offensive linemen. They're just going to replace them.
Linemen will be lost.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And that's always a big problem.
We're talking Achilles. I mean, next season is already done.
Yeah, he's not even going to be. I didn't even really think about that, Kerry. You're right. His injury is already taken. It's in the championship game. He's a year out.
Yeah.
Next season, he's already out. So
Already done. He's already done next season. So
I mean, luckily for them, it is a season-ending injury, so they can financially, it doesn't work against their cap and whatnot. So that moves some. They can make some moves, but this year's salary cap is going to hurt a lot of players, a lot.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And Sammy Watkins didn't really matter anyway at this point.
Nah, when you miss that much time, it's almost, if they put him back in, it would probably mess up the cohesion that everybody else has got going on at this point. Like, they're used to everybody at this point.
Yeah.
It's just funny how he became one of the fastest receivers in the league to possession receiver just within a couple of years. I mean, and happened for him when you're on a team with Cheetah, you're going to look like a possession receiver no matter how fast.
Yeah, when you're on the team with Cheetah, I don't know what they called Hardman, but he's got to have a nickname too. You're not the fastest player anymore. You're at least third.
Yeah.
At minimum on that team.
Pringle may be faster than him, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, no, that team it's a track meet with them. It's an absolute track meet. So, I didn't really expect Tampa Bay. You know, my prediction was for them to send. You know what? They didn't need to. They didn't need to send linebacker pressure that much because those two ends did it all themselves. So they were able to just. So
and there's some crazy stat where if Rodgers gets sacked 4 times, then Green Bay has like around 40% chance of winning. So that's what they did, and they did that to him in the first game. They got him on his back. I was there.
It seems like he gets frustrated. You can see it in his body language when he gets hit that he gets frustrated. And once again, there you get frustrated and you start yelling at people, but not with the tone that Tom Brady yells. Tom Brady's yelling his expectations.
Right.
You know, so then again, the players do make those plays. I'm telling you, I saw it happening as they kept making drops and fumbles and mistakes. I'm just like, Tampa Bay, when it really comes down to it, all those third downs, they're going to make them. And look, Kerry, look at their third down percentage in that game. It was like 9 for 11 or something retarded.
Yeah, ridiculous.
You're never going to win if the other team is constantly converting 3rd and long, 3rd and 14, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8.
Especially when your defense isn't a top-tier defense, and then you have to keep running them out there against an offense that's figured it out now. I mean, look at that Leonard Fournette run. Kidding me? Broke like 5-6 tackles, easy.
Yeah, I mean,
getting worn out.
The minute I saw Tom Brady's eyes, I knew what was going to happen, man. And then I seen him make that throw to Goodwin. I said, this game is over.
Yeah, I mean, all right. So you guys, if you haven't got a chance to check it out, I know everybody was through the quarantine. Everybody watched The Last Dance, which was compelling. But I'm telling you, that Tiger Woods documentary on HBO, that 2-part thing, is way better. It is way better. So when you watch that and you see what Tiger Woods... All right, so there was a tournament, a U.S. Open, where Tiger had 2 microfractures in one of his legs. And he still tried to compete, right? During one of his drives, you actually heard it break.
Oh.
Okay.
That's day 1. That's Thursday. His caddy, Tiger was literally laying on the golf course, laying there after that it broke. His caddy said, I don't think you need to do this. He says to Stevie Williams, fuck you, Steve. I'm winning this goddamn tournament. And on a broken leg, went and won the U.S. Open. That's Tom Brady mentality. That's it. He has the same, I don't give a fuck. We are winning this game. And Aaron Rodgers doesn't have that.
Yeah.
He's relied on this his whole life, and it's so good that that's all he has to do.
Yeah, it's like the Kobe, the Jordans, the the Tigers. They all got that mentality. Like
the Cole Beasleys.
Gonna stop them.
Yo, Cole Beasley just played 3 playoff games on a broken fucking fibula, dude.
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
I like this guy even more, and no one even knew it. They didn't even say it.
That's what Jack Youngblood back in the day did.
Yo, that's
all the way to a Superbowl.
That's incredible. No one knew. They didn't even know until after the game. That's incredible on the Bills organization to be able to keep that under wraps for 3 fucking weeks.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
that
that's
was
what I'm saying. That's
unbelievable.
why a team like that, you look to a team like that, young, they stick together, they believe in the system, they love the coach. They could be dangerous for another few years.
Yeah, and they're all young, relatively young, so you keep them
They can have
together.
a 4 or 5 year run easily.
I look at their future as brighter than Cleveland's
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
by far
Yeah.
because that cohesion right there, you could see it, man. They love to play together. You saw what happened with Josh
So
Allen.
what happened when they how they came to Allen's how they had his back?
You know,
Yeah.
it was instantaneously.
Yeah,
Two of
no
them were like,
pause.
motherfucker.
Yeah. Unlike what happened to Red Rocket in Dallas, where they were like, I don't even know you, man. They just,
Yep.
Dude, you ain't even shook my hand yet, yo.
yeah, I'm like, wow. You gonna let your man? How you gonna let your QB?
All right, so Roger Harper, let me ask you an NFL. This is why I love having NFL experience in the room. Let me ask you an NFL question. Have you ever been on a team that would have happened, where your quarterback got laid the fuck out and nobody even tried to help him up? Like, yeah, whatever.
Hey, you know what? I played with Jeff George.
Oh,
Oh, Jeff Judge.
And Jeff George, they got tired of his shit too, man. He just they didn't give a fuck about Jeff George that much. He was
man, you can tell.
Yeah, and you know, they got to the point where the linemen, you know, it was like that. Jeff George is one of those quarterbacks. They just like, you know, didn't give a fuck no more.
All that arm talent, though, he had a cannon on him.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, because if you
Oh
notice,
yeah, he had
every
serious
team Jeff went to, if he had some success, especially early on, later in the season, he would get his ass beaten to pieces because they was tired of it. They're like, okay, keep talking that shit, boy.
But
You do not want to piss your lineman off, point blank, ever.
Thing with the Cowboys, where a guy barely touched Troy Aikman, that motherfucker was gone the next day.
Exactly. See, look at the difference. Look at the fun. And that's what it's required. That's why arm talent isn't everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why you look at Patrick Mahomes, and I do have to give him a shot to be the GOAT because he has all the arm talent in the world. He is also a clutch performer, and his team fucking loves him. They love that guy.
Oh yeah. I mean, did you see the what happened at the sideline when Hartman fumbled the rock?
Yeah.
He came to Hartman and said, "Listen, we got this. This ain't nothing new. We just started. This is just."
And that's the
beginning. We
beautiful
got
thing
this."
about the Chiefs. What they did, they went to Hardman multiple times after that. and got him
Immediately.
involved multiple
Yeah,
ways.
because Pat
and his
Mahomes
confidence was right
went
back
to the
in.
sideline and told him, "You got time to make it up. You got."
Well, it's
this.
not
You
only
got
that. Pat is smart enough to know. Listen to man. I need this guy over here. Like, get your fucking head in the game. I'm coming right back to you. I have to have you. Sammy Watkins doesn't even matter anymore. It's you.
You have 4.2 speed. Don't worry. It'll work itself out.
I don't even care if we have to hand it to you on reverses, which they did immediately
Which they
to get
did.
him right into the game. Here you go.
Yeah.
Nigga.
Remember, you're faster than everyone. Well, yeah, see? Now, yeah, you're a football player. Here, now we're going to throw it to you. Woo, look at that.
Touchdown.
Yeah, that's-
So he ended up being critical in this game. Key third down conversions, big plays downfield. So yeah.
Well, I
But
mean,
that's what makes a championship team.
well, Dice,
You
I was just about to say that
uplift them.
because whenever you're at championship level football, all the teams are good. Both sides of the football are talented. They have studs everywhere. So your studs on offense might be neutralized. And at least they're going to be focused in and double teamed like Devontae was. So it's always in big games your secondary players that play the biggest roles until it's like 3rd and 9 or 3rd and 11, and then Gronk shows up. Which he did in that Tampa game. He didn't have a single catch the entire game. It was a 3rd and 11. Here, they threw a fucking screen here. Just go run over everybody. We need a first down, dude.
And the funniest thing about the Chiefs were their two best offensive weapons still got busy.
Well,
They
that's
got super busy.
That's because Andy Reid is a genius play designer with the tools that he has. It's easy when you got a guy who can literally throw it to every single point on the field from everywhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And instead
Really
of
not
trying
hard.
to, you say, yeah, you want to play deep cover 2? That's fine. I have Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
He's just gonna eat. This guy had double-digit
Travis
receptions in the first
Kelce,
half
the
alone.
cheetah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
it's crazy because
they move Cheetah around really well too. They always keep you guessing where he's going to go.
well, plus being a former unlimited energy player, because literally Cheetah never gets fucking tired. That guy was running at full speed on run plays in the fourth quarter when the game was already decided, running off.
It's not even fair with him, man.
Yeah, so I get it. Like
not
he never stops. So why wouldn't you utilize running him all over the place? He's never going to get tired. Run him in motion 30 fucking times. Who cares? Because dude, he's so fast. Even when he's running in motion, if he goes over one way and the guy starts moving and he goes the other way, he's already got an advantage.
He's already open.
He's already open. The second he hits the corner, he's open.
That's why that play always works.
It always works.
Always.
It always works.
Even if the defender doesn't get caught up in traffic, he cannot gain leverage on that guy. He's too fucking fast.
No, I mean, come on. When he ran through those tackles, come on.
Who's really going to lock down Tyreek Hill?
It takes. Well, here's the funny thing. So he had 263 yards receiving the last time they played the Bucs this season.
Yeah.
203 in the first quarter.
Yep.
But then look, from the first half on, neutralized. They were up like 24-3 and ended up winning 27-24. So the second half, the Bucs made all of the adjustments. So it's not one person. There isn't one person fast enough in the NFL to do that job.
That's why I said that.
It's more about scheming and whatnot. Roger, you know this.
Yeah.
What would you do as a safety if you know you literally have someone that runs a 4-1 coming at you?
Better bracketing, play him high and low, inside and out. They're going to have to slow him down. That's exactly what they're going to have to do.
I mean, you got to think that the two starting safeties for Tampa Bay will be back by Super Bowl time.
No, they're going to be, but still, you can't go man with him. It's impossible. You can't even double him. You can't even double him with man.
Yeah, you can't double him with man. He's too fast.
Right.
I mean, you know what I would try to do since you have 2 weeks? There's Todd Smoker Bowles. I would come up with a new defense that's 3 safeties, where the middle safety literally makes a decision upon the read and snap or whether he's going to double one of Kelsey or Tyreek Hill. And I'm just doing that. Like, I'm telling you, just like I told Carrie, Byron Pringle is going to have to win Super Bowl MVP. I'm not letting Kelsey and Hill beat me. I don't fucking care.
Right.
Yep.
Somebody else has to beat me.
Hardman should have a huge game. Hardman should be eating all game. Hardman, Pringle, let's see, Robinson.
Yeah, these off players, and you know what? And you see it throughout Super Bowl history. It's usually there's been some odd Super Bowl MVPs.
Absolutely,
there's been some odd ones because somebody will have to have a breakout game because it's just like, well, you decided to say beat us with this guy, so we did.
Yep.
You know, so somebody, and then the Bucs. It doesn't really matter. Honestly, they're so loaded. There is no beat us with one guy. They can and will use everyone.
They use everyone.
Yeah, so that's a whole different thing. Tom Brady has them running a New England offense at this point.
Mike Evans is looking healthier than he has all season, and you give him 2 more weeks now. I mean, this dude has 15 touchdowns this year. He's had a monster year too. Let's not forget.
Oh yeah.
So,
and that's incredible because you think of 15 touchdowns and statistics like that within that offense. All those people that have to get touches and involved, and he still was able to do that.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it really helps to have Gronk, who really doesn't give a fuck if he blocks on every single play. So there's no ego involved in that guy. I don't need the fucking ball. Whatever. Let's go win. That really helps. And then Chris Godwin seems like he really doesn't care either.
No, because he gets to eat too. He knows.
He gets his. He gets his because Godwin gets his.
No, they all do. I mean, and then you also have the master of distribution, the master of I don't care who's open unless you're Randy Moss or Gronk at his peak. I'm throwing it to whoever's the play dictates.
Right.
Exactly.
That quarterback there never forced a ball in his career until he had a top 100 level athlete. And then, I mean, why wouldn't you? So Matt LaFleur, let's kick a field goal down 8 with 2 minutes left and Tom Brady over there. That was so stupid. Yo, I swear to God, whenever that happened and the look in his face after the game, I felt like the NFL called him called the owner, and then his owner called him on the sideline and said, "Nope, it's not our year, man. They need Tom in the Super Bowl. They got to sell Super Bowl ads." And they're like, we're not winning this one. Yep, kick it.
About that, Green Bay doesn't really have ownership. The fans own it.
Yeah, I know. That's the only thing. But, there's somebody who's taking that phone call, though.
Right, didn't run it for the first down on that last play.
Yeah, man, it was really odd because it was kind of there. It was there, and
there, and you are Aaron Rodgers. Come on, bro.
The announcer said it too. Like, I don't see why Aaron Rodgers didn't even try to run that.
Yeah, I don't get it. It seemed like, if you're down 2 and in the NBA and they got a play called for you at the 3-point line and they give it to you and you just don't take the shot. That's what it looked like. Yep.
John Elway is running.
Yeah.
And John Elway was in way worse shape than what Aaron Rodgers is. So yeah, I don't get that.
It was really, really weird. It was really weird.
Yeah.
It was so weird. But it gave us the result that we wanted. I mean, it was, like you said, it's fun to watch Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes' right arms battle. That would have been fun, but as a team in football, the Bucs are the most complete team in football at the right time.
Yeah, and we talked about that defense earlier in the year, how fast they are, and you need a fast defense with this squad that the Chiefs, this offensive squad the Chiefs put out there. So, yeah,
it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Now,
I think it's going to come down to which defense makes the less mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And the quarterbacks definitely, never know with the quarterbacks. They're both great, but again, Tom Brady is the GOAT.
Yeah, Tom Brady can and has proven multiple times that he can overcome a couple picks in a game. It doesn't really it's not like when Aaron Rodgers throws a couple picks and you're out of it. It's been multiple times through the years. He's not a perfect quarterback by any means whatsoever. He's just perfect when it counts the most.
Yeah.
He will throw picks.
He had 3 interceptions that game.
Yeah, but then you look after that point, from that moment on, when it was like when the game really started to hang in the balance, it was almost flawless football, and that's the difference.
Yeah, it doesn't faze him. Nothing phases him.
Dude, those he's just been doing it. It's funny because at this stage in his career, what he's mastered the most is completing third downs in big moments.
In big moments.
It's incredible. He did it all in their last Super Bowl run. He's doing it all this in that game. It was third down after third down after third down after third down. It's just like, I want to know, is Byron Leftwich even calling plays on third down?
Nah, man. I mean, at this point, Tom Brady's seen every defense. So once he fill out the defense, he knows what play to run at that point. So it just becomes like, all right, I'm going to do this right here. And they be like, you know what I'm saying? What you doing?
Of course he's calling the plays. It's called the TB12. I call that play on third down every single time, too.
Yep. Stack right, TB12. Figure it out, Tom. Yo, so, Roger, let me ask you something. Did Troy Aikman, did he have the autonomy to just call whatever?
Yeah, of course. He was. We had an office coordinator, but if he wanted him and Mike Irvin or Emmett he would audible and change plays in a heartbeat if he had to. Definitely.
And from what I've seen, Troy Aikman, I mean, amongst many, more than any other quarterback, would audible to runs more than pass plays. With that offensive line and Emmett, I would too. I would be like, yeah, Emmett.
Well, I mean, that's also that's the intelligence in it to understand the matchups that you have in those situations, because it's usually like a 3rd and 7 or something. And he'd be like, that nickel's in, because that's the 90s football. They didn't have 8 DBs out there. It'd be like, the nickel and the dime are in there, and we got this offensive line. No, we're running it. We're getting a first down anyway.
I think he even said it before. Like, that's how Emmett was like, yeah, Troy would let me eat at the goal line all the time. He was like, oh, yeah, this is dumb. I'm going to run it in. The line.
See, that's
simple football.
Well, that's quarterbacking without an ego, and that's probably one of Troy Aikman's best characteristics.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know him personally, but it looks like he had no ego on the field at all, Roger, at all.
He was very composed. He had a team. He had receivers, running backs, had an all-pro offensive line. So, he was able to do those things and make calls and change up and audibles and all that kind of stuff. So, that's another great quarterback. So,
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna close this one and send you guys a new one, and then we'll run through the rest of it, and then get our thoughts and smoke another blunt. And nice, you got time to go do whatever it is that you do whenever you're not on camera. So I'll send y'all the new link in a second. All right, give me 1 second. I'm gonna tap everybody else back in. Oh, that's hilarious. All right, give me 1 second, guys. Take a smoke break. Take a smoke break, and they will be right back in. Oh, man. So, shout out to Nice, Carrie, and our newest panelist, Roger Harper. We have almost made it through our entire first season of Gray Matter. We have not missed an episode, a single game, a single breakdown. We have made it through the commitment. And shout out to anybody who watches this show. I know it's not even close to the amount that watches Mobb Deep Monday and whatnot, but this is the other aspect of my life. I am a football head outside of making murder music. And even P knew that. The Fox knows that. Everybody knows that. If it's football season and it's Sunday, we are not going to the studio. We are not recording music. It's not happening until football's over. And P knew that. Everybody knew it. You know, it's football Sunday. We're not working today. Yo, P was so dope. He didn't even like football at all. He watched it towards the end because I was always watching it. So if you're home on Sunday, football's on. But he ended up getting NFL Sunday ticket and college football Saturday, which literally gives you access to every single game that exists. And he was just like, nah, man, yo, watch football, son. It's for you. Yo, Nice is this is new. This is fun. Yo, son, I was just telling whoever is watching this show at this point about how dope P was, because P ain't even like sports, but he had gotten so used to football Sunday being a part of my life. He knew we were not working on Sundays. Don't even ask. It's not. And then B, yo, when we moved to Brooklyn, yo, son, he bought NFL Sunday ticket and college football Saturday.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he was just like, nah, son, watch football, son. That's for you, yo. And I was just
that's crazy.
Yo, that's how ill P was, man. That's how close we actually were as friends.
Well, because P wasn't into that.
And he knew that meant Saturday and Sunday. Football was on all goddamn day. And, you know, Nice, you remember we had that, like, 110-inch flat screen, son?
Yep.
There's no way to avoid football on football Sundays. It's happening. So,
Up you guys, football fans like that. I really enjoy doing it with you guys.
Man. This is Roger Harper. This is a blessing beyond anything that I could have imagined, having an NFL vet join our discussion, because that's the coolest shit ever. So me, Nice, and Carrie, literally, they know. I only talk about, and I told you, I talked to about 4 people about football, because you have to be at a certain level for me to want to discuss it with you. I'm really about this shit, right?
Yep.
You know, so every Sunday for years, if I wasn't watching football with Nice, at halftime of the first game, after the first game, at halftime of the second one, and at halftime of the evening game, we always called each other and talked about what we just watched, like clockwork. And then me and Carrie worked together. Carrie does audiobooks, and P had a book in print too, and we were doing a lot of audiobooks at the time. So on Monday when I would get to the studio to work with Carrie, dude, the first 4 hours we would just talk about football and watch Sports Center. You know, and like, so we always talked about, yo, we should like do a show. We should do a show. We should do a show. We should do a show.
Yeah.
And this year, Corona actually provided an easy platform to make it happen because we didn't have to be in the same room.
Mm-hmm.
This exists now, so now we can do it. So it was just like, yo, let's do this shit, son. And it's been fun, man. I was just telling everybody, like, yo, we made it. We're almost through the whole first season. We didn't miss a single game, a single show. We didn't miss anything. So that just makes me excited for next season.
It's your first season? This the first season of this?
Yeah, we just started doing this year.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, so now, we're just going to keep doing it because this is a way for me to just talk about football with the people I already talk about football with, and now we just do it all at the same time. We literally would do this anyway, so.
Yep.
You know,
We're
so
not going to stop even when the season's over.
Yeah, I've already figured out how to do the off season because there is no off season in the NFL. You know that, Roger. There is no off season. The next season starts the day that your team loses and is out. It's already on.
Yep, it's already on.
So since the math basically works out that way, what we're going to be able to do is once the season's over, each week we're just going to break down the next season and the off season for one team.
Yep.
And then talk about the general news that's happened, but we'll just focus on one team. And then by the time we're done with the whole league, it's football season.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an easy way to just go through the off season and have it like now I know what we're going to be able to go, because if you're not really a football head, the off season is like not for you. That's for sure.
Yeah, you're not gonna like anything about it.
Yeah, for people like us though, this is soap opera for gladiators.
It's heavy, man, because you get to see what's gonna happen next season.
Yeah, you start building immediately.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start asking some questions. What do you think the biggest matchup of the Super Bowl is? What's the biggest matchup key?
Biggest matchup to me would probably be the quarterbacks. Mahomes versus Brady. Two high-powered quarterbacks. The GOAT versus young and fresh and skilled. It's going to be real interesting to see this matchup.
Yep.
Thinking about Devin White, Travis Kelce.
See, that's why we're stacked on top of each other in this segment, Kerry, because I was going to say the exact same thing. To me, that's the biggest key, because if Devin White wins that matchup, Bucs win the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I've seen when the dominant middle linebacker is at the top of his game, how he could just destroy an offense single-handedly. Like I heard tell Ray Lewis was in a couple Super Bowls. I can only remember one. It was in San Francisco. But when he just dominates, when you have a middle linebacker that could just dominate like that, who can cover, who's a tackle machine and can cover, get coverage and pick the ball off. He knows what to do. He's a ball hawk. Throughout these playoffs, he's getting interceptions and fumbles.
Well, see, I was just about to say that what he's proven now that it's only his second year, but we're seeing him with the bright lights on him, is this guy really likes to play with a captive audience. So he enjoys the moment, which means he's going to have a great fucking game.
Oh, and he already considers himself the best linebacker in the league.
Yeah, see?
And so he goes out there to prove it every single game. So.
Tom Brady, that was the first person that Tom Brady was talking to when they won.
Sure was.
Yeah. So
he was like, Devin, we going home. He like, Devin, we going home. So they know he is the heart and soul of the defense, but it still comes down to the quarterbacks.
Of course it does, but all right, so let me frame it as on a second term. What's the on-field matchup then? That's the key. To me, it's those two.
Okay.
And if I have, I'll give you a secondary one now since I've already used that one. So go ahead, Dice.
Yeah, well, now that you said that, that's pretty much, that, and I would say Antoine Winfield Jr., whoever he has to lock down, is going to be very important because his role is going to be very important to that secondary because Todd Bowles loves safeties, and he loves to put them in wild positions. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens.
Well, I think outside of the obvious, like the obvious second choice is going to be whoever the fuck is playing for Eric Fisher at left tackle, but that's too easy. So I'll take it even a level deeper of where the game could shift is Tampa Bay's punt coverage team
I was about to say special teams
versus KC's special return team, because there's a glaring difference in those two units, like big time.
Yeah.
Both teams have a great kicker. Like they both have a great kicker who are playing well and experienced in playoffs. So that's not going to be. But KC's return team, man, there's like 7 guys that run 4.2s back there.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny you pull Hardman off of punt after he has that one. It looks like the other guy can get busy back there too, though. And then you punish McCole by giving him the rock on a reverse and then throwing him a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's your punishment.
Now go sit and think about what you did.
You think about these stats you've just compiled.
I mean, that team is so loaded, man.
Andy Reid is the illest coach ever. I'm going to punish you by giving you the best playoff game you've ever had.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah.
I mean, when you have all those kind of plays, it's fun. You can make up things. You can come up with plays because you know they'll cover it. It's too much speed on the field for you to not make up some new shit.
All right,
and nice. How do you feel that your former Jet guy, Le'Veon Bell, to get the sweet taste of that Super Bowl action?
Yeah, Le'Veon back. You know he's gonna be pumped up for no reason.
Yeah, I really hope he gets to play because.
Yeah, he is because they said he'll be fine. He'll be ready to go. Everybody will be ready to go for Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's nobody. They said it's gonna be really pretty much no inactives for the Super Bowl.
All right, so Roger, let me ask you. I just had a high question pop into my head, and these are always fun. If Dion, you can ask him this and get an answer because this is a good question. If he were playing, how would he even try to defend either of these receiving sets? Like, obviously, Dion's playing the Chiefs. He's covering Tyreek. That's an easy one. What the fuck does he do in Tampa, though? Who's he covering? Is he just going to stay on one side the whole game?
Pretty much.
He'll probably follow Mike Evans. He'll probably stay with Mike Evans.
Yeah, you're going to have
Stay
to.
to the field. He'll probably stay to the field on the island by himself.
Yeah, that would make the most sense because, like, clearly he's just going to cover the cheetah in Tampa against KC. But Tampa, they literally have 2 number ones, and then their fastest guy is like their 5th receiver. So,
but wouldn't you? That's interesting because I would think
if AB is fully healthy, he's covering AB.
Because I was going to say maybe you double Mike Evans. Yeah, if AB's not out there, but you double Mike Evans and then just have Deion shut Godwin down.
See, that's the Patriots. That's the Patriots' defensive theory. Their number one corner rarely ever covered a number 1 receiver. They'd put the number 2 and Devin McCourtney over top, and then Gilmore or outside of Revis that one year. That he doesn't count. That's a defensive alien.
Well, I mean, because I remember Ellis Hobbs was covering.
Yeah, stupid
on the goal line in the Super Bowl.
No, they always do that. It's your number 2 is going to cover the number 1, and then it's just number 1's going to shut down their number 2. It's
5. It's in the name. He was like what 5'7".
Ellis Hobbit.
Ellis Hobbit's going up against a 6'5" Blacksco Burst. Come on now. We got to change some shit up on the goal line in the Super Bowl. We got to switch some shit up, baby.
All right, so give me a today Super Bowl prediction because as we know, things may change. Things do change.
Today, I say Kansas City got the slight edge. I'm going with KC.
Interesting. Betting against the GOAT, huh? That usually works out for you Jets fans.
I mean, you know, the GOAT, he is the GOAT, but it's just too much weapons, man. KC has way too many weapons. It's just ridiculous. It's way too much. It's just too much.
This is where I would give the edge. I would give the edge in coaching. because Andy Reid's Andy Reid, and he's been there. And the first time you make it as a coach, Bruce BA's been trying to do this for a long time now. So you just
Well, this is not his first Super Bowl, but his first as a head coach.
Super Bowl, but it's his
As
first
a head
one.
coach, yeah.
His first one being at the helm, which is a different monster. We know that. So.
All right, so I'm not. Come on, do you even have to ask me? The goat is playing in the Super Bowl. Let's be realistic about this shit here.
Yeah,
And Eli Manning is not walking through that locker room door, so we're good.
Nah, man. I would like to see the GOAT get another one and kind of like go out if he decides to go out. It would be nice, but I just KC just got it's too much, man. It's just too much.
All right,
You're
so
talking about Cheetah, Kelsey, Hartman, Robinson.
all right, so football-wise, this is like the best defense that can match up against this offense. And if you look at the second, this is very Giants-Patriots like in the regular season, because the second half of their regular season game this year, Tampa Bay figured it out and put it on them, right? And it's just like, all right, they may have figured out how to do this against them, possibly. Yep. So I think Tampa Bay. But if you look at my preseason prediction, what did I say? The Super Bowl is good. Tampa is going to make it in Tampa, but the Chiefs are going to repeat, and then Tampa will actually win next year when they have a full season together to actually figure it out completely, and they're going to have a historic team next year, possibly.
Exactly.
Given the health, Roger Harper knows it's the health in the NFL is fucking key.
Exactly. I agree with that.
Injuries is number one thing to take you out. You have all the skill and everything. Injuries will set you back. Next man up,
Yeah, so, my things may change. I know the betting line, it's odd that the betting line is only 3 right now and not like 3.5 somewhere. It's 3.
It's 3.
Yeah, KC. Yeah, KC opened up at 3.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
So Kerry, you know what that means now that I've been paying attention to betting. That means that KC probably wins but doesn't cover the spread or whatever, however that works.
Exactly.
So right. Vegas still gets...
And like down the stretch, they did not cover the spread like at all.
At all. So that's pretty predictable with them, right?
Yeah.
So I can already see it happening, the coronation of the new king of the NFL, where Tom Brady drives down, leaves a little bit too much time left. Patrick Mahomes makes like 2 or 3 ridiculous plays, gets them in field goal range, and they end up winning by 1 or 2.
And you have the best kicker of this season.
Yeah, so I can easily see that playing out just because of the way that the odds makers in Vegas seem to be time travelers. So
Biffs.
They're all Biffs.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Bucs, man.
Okay.
Defense. Okay. They got the defense, and then you got. I didn't know if you guys mentioned this earlier, but they got the home field advantage. The first NFL team playing in the Super Bowl at home, and the GOAT couldn't ask for nothing better than that. So
all right, so Roger, this is now that you bring
that would have meant more to me if you could have a full stadium. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's a Super Bowl. It doesn't matter because it's full of people from all over anyway.
It's not really real fans anyway.
No, but the advantage comes in. So, Roger, let me ask you something. And home playoff games, like a championship level game, because I know the Patriots in the first run of their dynasty, even at home championship games, they would all go stay at a hotel somewhere in Foxborough and get away from families and everybody the night before the game and like really hone in. So, like, how's this even going to work for Tampa? Are they just like driving Super Bowl Sunday? Are they all driving from their houses and just like driving to the stadium like it's a normal Sunday?
Yeah.
In hotel, curfew, focus. It's a lot of guys. Some guys on Tampa Bay who haven't been to the Super Bowl yet. This is going to be big for the whole team, and to be at home again, that's just like a 12th man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, since it's all going to be frontline workers and healthcare workers that are admitted into the Super Bowl, it's all going to be Tampa fans because they're all local. So,
yeah, that is true. Yeah.
That is going to help, but it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how Bruce Arians, i.e., how Tom Brady decides how they want to work this. How much at home time do we get to spend? Because this is another point I wanted to bring up. Aaron Rodgers not calling off that stupid field goal team and not putting the game in his hands. Bruce Arians said in an interview, yeah, I don't know what they were doing in New England, but when Tom wants to coach, I just sit back and let him coach and watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's like, Bill's not going to do that shit. If Tom has a point, he will bring it up. But, he's just like, nah, I literally sit back and just – he wasn't doing that in the early season, Kerry. You remember, they were kind of struggling. There was we were talking about how they were battling between the offensive philosophies, between Bruce Arians' downfield system to where Tom Brady just wanted to do some of the shit that he does. And there was a battle, and we knew it was going to take a while for them to get in there. And now, look how it's evolved over the season. Bruce is just like, nah, man, I sit back with a glass of scotch, tip my Kango to him, and just like, go ahead, Tom, do you.
That's it. Which ultimately is the whole reason why you brought him down.
Yeah.
So he could do that.
Yeah.
Yo, so what do you guys, this is funny, what do you guys think the hoodie is thinking right now?
The hoodie knew what was going to happen. It's not like he didn't know this. He knows it's Tom Brady, man, and he knew that this was the most rounded team that Tom Brady ever been on.
Oh, come on, he's tight, man. He's tight.
Yeah, I mean, of course he's tight. He been tight since he left.
They
haven't got it together since then.
Yeah, I texted you, Joe, and I was like, yeah, what are Pats fans doing right now? He's like burning their hoodie sweatshirts.
Yeah, they're all burning their cut sleeve hoodies right now. Like, yo, fuck it, I knew it was Tom. That's what they're all saying. I knew it.
Yeah.
I mean, at the beginning of the year, how New England's going to do without Tom Brady being there, and look at it. The GOAT has showed up again, and the Patriots are there. I'm sure they're pretty salty.
Well, it's funny. So
I think you're gonna have a lot of Pats fans rooting for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. I mean, he brought them 6 championships, man.
I'm the perfect example. I just wasn't dumb enough to sit there and be like, nah, I'm still running with the Pats this year. No. We're with Tom still.
Yeah.
This wasn't Tom's decision. It wasn't his decision to leave. He didn't spurn the Pats fans, so now we're still rocking with him. So, no, this is retarded, man. How do you get to 10 fucking Super Bowls in a career? This is absolutely retarded. So, Patriots fans, Bill Belichick, he's mad because you look at the Tom Brady effect you finally get to see it, even if it's only one season. So, the Patriots, essentially outside of the opt-outs, have the same roster that they had last year. Tom Brady makes it to the playoffs with those bums.
Mm-hmm.
You see what they did this year. Trash football. It was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
He goes down to Tampa, who has essentially the exact same roster outside of Gronk showing up and then AB halfway through towards the end, and takes them from an 8-8 team, and now they're in the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The Tom Brady effect. Now, there should be no debate on, I don't want to say who had more, because they were equal parts in that dynasty. But there's no debate of Tom Brady's contribution now, because a lot of people used to say, oh, it's all Bill Belichick, Tom Brady's only a system quarterback.
No.
Erased.
Matt Castle had because of that.
Tom Brady is the system. That's what you need to understand. He is the system.
I mean, if you understand football, you would know that. You would see at certain times in the game certain things that's being done in certain. Tom Brady makes people better around him. He always makes people better around. I don't care what system you got, who you put. He makes people better. It's just natural. That's what he does. That's why he won that many Super Bowls. He makes people better. You look at everybody that ever left Tom Brady, that receivers that had 1,000 yards and this and that. Only Wes Welker was the only one that went to another team, and that's because he went and played with Peyton on a stack Broncos team.
And Peyton at that time, I didn't know this, but Tom had said it during the NFL 100 player thing that him and Peyton often during off seasons would spend a week together, just the two of them, somewhere off in the woods somewhere, and just talk football. And know that that Peyton was just like, yeah, man, no, I really like how you was using this Wes Welker guy. I think I'm gonna do the exact same fucking thing when he gets here.
I mean,
and he did.
He did. I mean, you look at, like I said, the Broncos were so stacked. It wasn't any way that Broncos team was just loaded, fully loaded. But other than that, everybody else that left Tom Brady and went and played somewhere else were complete bums.
Pretty much
bums. Like complete. They everything dropped. So it's Tom Brady, man. He makes everybody better. I mean, we know that he is the greatest to play this game.
There's
man.
one nice. There's only one. Adam Vinatieri was still Adam Vinatieri when he went to the Colts. So.
I thought you were gonna say. Kimbrel Tompkins. No, that wasn't the one.
No, only Adam, and that's because he's also the GOAT kicker because of his clutchness.
Yeah,
so like he's going to do that in every uniform. So whatever the fuck.
What happened to Gostowski?
Yeah,
Oof.
exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So, yeah, I mean, there ain't really much else to talk about. There's only one game, and there were only 2 games. Outside of anything that develops, it's all literally – I don't really care about the offseason things that are going on right now that are already happening. Like, there's been some –
I mean, I am intrigued by Deshaun Watson and now Matty Stafford just being out there. And then you have the Colts.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that gives us something to talk about.
Phillips said he's done.
We could talk about that. So Deshaun Watson, 100% done in Houston. It doesn't even matter if they hire Bieniemy. He's out of there.
Yeah, he's out. And so far, it's 2 teams on the list that he's looking at. Well, really 3, but it looked like the Dolphins might make the biggest move. That might happen because the Texans is really intrigued by Tua. So I think they might look like the ones that'll make the biggest move because it's between the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Bears.
Well, I also think that the Texans are intrigued by Tua's rookie contract also.
Yeah.
I feel like the Colts is the destination. I'm sorry. I mean, first of all, you're in a dome, so you're chilling, and you have great young running back talent. You have I see a nice young receiving core.
One of the best offensive lines in football, easily.
One of the best offensive line, and that defense was balling this past season.
Well,
and they're young.
Yeah. When you're looking at a player of this. All right, so this has literally never happened in the NFL before, to where a player of this caliber who just signed $150 million deal or whatever, who has just led the league in passing, is this young and is proven to be a winner and a leader, is on the not open market, but is available. Who can even afford, not him, what capital, who can afford the capital to get this guy? That's where you really limit the options.
This is what I'm saying. And also, the Texans won't trade him to the Colts because they're in the same division. They're not going to do that.
That will never happen. Could you imagine that? Oh, my God. That's a Super Bowl team.
Yeah, that will never happen. And he likes the Jets because of the coach. The coach is like one of his favorite coaches. I don't know how that connection happened. And the Dolphins, he just likes Miami. So
well, he was wearing that Jets hat when he did post that on social media, so that's kind of a hit that he. And plus, I think nobody doesn't want to be in a giant market like that so you can market yourself.
Yeah, and he got Robert Saleh, and he got some cap space and things, but to pull that off is going to be really hard. And Joe Douglas is not going to give up the things that they're gonna.
That's what I'm saying. They might want like 3 or 4 number ones, like something crazy.
Of course they will. And the only
after you just chose Darnold in the first round,
the only team I see would do that is Miami. Miami will do it. Miami will pull that trigger.
Well, they do have the capital.
I know somebody else that would do it. There's no reason for him to go there right now because they're not a championship caliber team, but they have $89.7 million in cap space this season coming up, and they always have draft capital galore. Always. It's New England.
Yeah.
Does he want to go play in New England? Probably not, honestly. In that weather, and then maybe now that everybody's seeing Tom Brady free, does he really want to go to New England? Or does Emperor Palpatine turn into fucking Yoda this offseason because he sees the error in his ways and he becomes a fun-loving teddy bear of a Belichick coach and everyone fucking loves this guy?
Well, listen, that's what happened with Tom Coughlin.
Yeah.
And then after that happened, he got 2 chips.
Yeah, see? I mean, the hoodie might be in an igloo somewhere in New England meditating, like trying to reach his final form. Nice.
Nah, the hoodie is never going to change. That guy's facial expressions and the way how he talks, he's never going to change. I've never even seen this guy smile.
All right, so what about Roger Harper? Where you think Deshaun Watson ends up?
It's up in the air, man. I really haven't done my research, but I know he's a very talented quarterback, and he's a game changer, and he knows how to make plays. But if you put him with the right team, that's all he needed. I don't think Texas, they didn't make the right moves to get the right players and during his career there. And now with the coaching situation, that really just rubbed him the wrong way, and I don't blame him for getting out of there.
All right, so there's one more destination that none of you guys have mentioned that is actual possibility.
The 49ers?
Yep.
Yeah.
How'd you guys all know, right?
Yeah, I mean, because him and Richard Sherman is really close. And they have been talking a lot lately. Mm-hmm. So, it's open. They have things they can move around. They can make some things happen. But I see, like I said, the Texans is going to want too much for him. They're going to want a lot for him.
Honestly, I think San Francisco, if they have enough draft capital, would make the move. I don't think they give a fuck.
Because they are super deep at every position.
They would pull the trigger, and the Dolphins would pull the trigger. That's why I feel like that's where he's going to end up.
Well, so we know Chris Ballard in Indianapolis is not, and this was a stated fact this morning watching the Pat McAfee show, that he understands that he will trade a number one for something that is proven effective and works, because he traded a number one for Buckner. And look at the change that had on that defense. Now, it comes down to what is it going to take to get Deshaun Watson on your team? It's so much.
It's going to take like at least 3 first rounders.
3 first rounders, and if it's only 3, then you also have to trade an impact player, and your cap has to be able to absorb his salary and whatnot.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
Yeah, it's so tricky, and he's not going back. So the Texans have to make a move.
They have to do it.
And this is just a bad look on the city of Houston in general.
Yeah, you
lose Harden, and you're about to lose one of the best basketball players. You lost him to Brooklyn, and now you're about to lose Deshaun Watson and most likely J.J. Watt.
Yeah, J.J. Watt is going too.
And you lost George Springer. Houston, what is happening, Houston? We got a problem.
Yo, Kerry, I'll tell you exactly what happened to Houston. The strip club industry got hit too hard by the roadie, and nobody wants to be down there no more.
And they had the most strip clubs per capita.
Yo, everybody wants to. Yo, nice. You knows exactly where everybody's headed, because Florida don't give a fuck about the roadie. Everybody wants to go to Miami right now, son.
Miami, man, it makes sense. That's why he wants. That's his. Miami and New York is his top 2 choices.
Yo, so nice. I will grant you clemency, because there's an unusual wind of circumstances that are blowing your way to where I will grant you favor. Adam Gase potentially becoming the offensive coordinator for the Seahawks. I will not allow anybody in this chat to be a fan of any team that is involved with Adam Gase. I will ignore you every time. I will not allow it.
I did not know Adam Gase is the offensive coordinator for the Seahawks. Is he?
No, they've already interviewed him twice, and they're really considering. And Jamal Adams is fucking pissed. He is
Oh my
pissed.
God.
That is terrible.
My God, yeah, I'm not. I'm off the Seahawks wagon. I can't do it.
Yo, we'll see how much.
Adam Gase must have cases on all these. What power does he have that he keeps getting jobs? I don't
must have saw
understand.
something that we did not see, man. And it's something that got to involve Peyton Manning, because Peyton Manning is always recommending this dude to everybody. Like, he's
That's
so
crazy.
great.
Yo, so you guys remember that that scandal that got swept under the rug, the Me Too moment that Peyton Manning had at Tennessee University?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see what Adam Gase knows about. What was his involvement in Tennessee's? Was he like a graduate assistant at Tennessee at that time or something?
Something's weird is going on, man, because this guy was just bashed to the fullest, to the media and everything, and you're still getting jobs? Like, how is that even possible?
It shouldn't be possible. And the other funny thing, and the other reprieve why the other wind of change that's happening, it would be impossible if Deshaun Watson ends up in the Jets.
I know for you not.
For Nice not to be back on board. It would have been impossible.
No, that's true. That's right. That's so true. That's mad true.
Even I'm going to watch the Jets with Deshaun Watson there. Hey, let's see what you do, man. Like, it's Deshaun Watson, everybody.
Yo, that happens. Denzel Mims is going to be one of the top receivers in the league.
Yeah. And also, if you're a young free agent receiver, if you're coming out of your rookie contract, I'm going to the Jets if Deshaun ends up there.
Yeah, he's gonna breathe. And we got the cap space.
Well, if you can handle New York, not every athlete can handle existing within New York.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, also that division is begging. I mean, you have Josh Allen as the superstar of that division now. You thought maybe you had 1 and 2 up. The jury is still out on that. That division is ripe for another superstar quarterback.
All right, so nice. I just had another high thought. You guys will love this one. Deshaun Watson ends up at the Jets. You know the next move I'm making? I'm making a phone call to the Browns and bringing Odell back to New York City.
Yes, indeed. Definitely would.
I would be sick to my stomach, but I see the appeal. I see.
Why wouldn't you?
A, he loves New York. B, he's also driven about shit like pettiness like that, so he could be in New York just shitting on the Giants the entire time, balling out.
You would love it.
Yeah. I mean, if the GMs we're gonna see how smart they are.
I would do that because the Browns have proven this year that they really didn't need him to function completely. Yeah. And you can get a lot for him. He's still Odell fucking Beckham. Yeah. So, and I'm telling you, the Jets would be eager to do that if Deshaun's already there. The fact that the Texans wouldn't listen to his voice down there, they're already going to be like, so who do you want? Anybody that you want? And he can just be like, yo, go grab Odell. And it's like, dude, that would be incredible. Those two together.
Incredible. Yeah.
He'd have Deshaun Hopkins all over it. Hopkins all over again.
Yeah. But we're gonna see
awesome.
if Joe Douglas and Woody Johnson, if they really this smart.
Well, and that's the thing. Woody Johnson is back now.
Yeah.
He's gone, being the ambassador somewhere overseas. But
he's back, so that's big. So it's looking, things are looking up for New York if they get Deshaun, which it makes sense. It makes sense. And they're not any good right now, so what future are you leveraging with these first round picks? Who fucking cares?
Exactly. Yeah. What are you all in these picks for? But Joe Douglas is a guy that loves to build from the ground up.
Well, I see that's a mistake. I think with the appeal of Deshaun Watson and the appeal of New York City, that you leverage your draft position and for him, and then you now sell it as free agency. Like, come to New York, come to New York, come to New York.
I mean,
And you can build up that way quicker than you can drafting a bunch and waiting for them to all develop. You don't want to waste 3 or 4 years of Deshaun Watson's career doing that dumb shit.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely would go all in for Deshaun, man.
Well, I mean, and that's why we should have a GM job. You know how the Packers don't have an owner? There should be a team that doesn't have a GM. It's just they got like 50 people that all just zoom in and chime in on it.
Just chop it up right quick. Yeah.
All right, so so I mean, we'll see what develops. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. We'll see what develops story-wise this week coming up. It is only one game, and as you know, this week it's there will be some. It's not head coaching hires. That's kind of already happened. It's coordinators who are getting jobs now. So the coordinator, the offensive coordinator in for the Chargers already got hired. That guy took somebody from the Saints with him.
Okay.
So
but speaking of coaches, did you see the press conference of the Lions head coach?
Oh yeah, before we get off of that guy is a fucking G.I. Joe character. He is awesome. I love it. His chin is magnificent and like Dan Campbell is the fucking his press conference was 47 minutes long, dude. It was supposed to be like 3 minutes. He just wouldn't shut up.
Dan Campbell was the Campbell. He told him he gonna bite your knees on all types of shit. This guy is amazing.
Well, that's the Vrabel effect that's happening, nice. The Sean McVay effect didn't work. Hiring young guys who just like hung out with Sean McVay once didn't work. Well, now it's the Vrabel effect where you're getting these big giant guys who got tobacco in their lip about this far on the sideline, and they're not calling X's and O's. They're just yelling at you.
Another tight end who became a head coach.
Dude, he is awesome. He makes Detroit instantly interesting for the first time since Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson were there.
But you need something now. Matty Stafford's on the move because you need something.
So I already tell you where Matty Stafford ends up as we close out this last minute. He's going to end up in Indianapolis. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense all across the board. It makes sense unless they could swing some moves. See, the other Deshaun Watson landing place that we didn't talk about was L.A. If L.A. tries to get rid of Jared Goff, they might ship him over.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
And then work it that way because now he's also in a big market out west. And with Sean McVay, so that would be really interesting. So I appreciate your guys' time. I will check in with you next Tuesday. We'll see what happens in the off week in the NFL. Stay safe out there, and go Bucs.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. I appreciate everybody popping in, and we will see you next Tuesday for the off week in Gray Matter. Until then, I have got records to mix, so I have to go and bury myself inside the fox den.